Let me start by saying good morning to each of you. If these people are present, I'm going to ask you to come up and join me. Ryan, Greg, and Donovan are here. Is Shelley here? Shelley Cameron from the chamber. Is Pat Clancy here? Pat Clancy, if you could come up here, Pat. Greg, Insurance and Wellness. Greg Devins, if you're here. Dan Fitzpatrick, Richard Green, Kevin Mahoney, Mo Rushdie, Sam Staten Jr., Jerry Sweeney, and Richard Vague. If any of you are present, if you could please come and just get a little tighter, guys. I know it's a little weird, right? Just come, welcome to my world, right? Philadelphia, as we get started with this announcement on today, it's important to me that you know that your mayor is a visual learner. Many of you have asked me on different occasions, what keeps you up at night, Mayor Parker? I want to show you what I've been communicating to residents across the city, and it is the most visual way that I can describe to you the importance of why we're here. Here, and I apologize for the microphone not being able to be important, but here, Philadelphia, is an overview of our FY25 tax revenues for the city of Philadelphia. Now, this data is in reference to the budget as I introduced it. What passed was $6.37 billion, but what I introduced initially was a $6.29 billion budget to run the city of Philadelphia. What I affirmed through the 9 to 10 budget briefings and town hall meetings that I hosted in neighborhoods across the city of Philadelphia, and this was very important to me, is that residents understood where the dollars came from, where the money comes from that helps us keep our city afloat, and quite frankly, that allows us to function. Here you will see in orange, Philadelphia, wage and net profits. It represents $1.98 billion in revenue. That is 40%. 40%. This is PICA here. For those familiar with PICA, it's the revenue portion of the wage tax that PICA returns to the city of Philadelphia. Here you will see business income and receipts tax. That represents 13%. What was extremely important to me is that Philadelphia, you know that of that $6.29 billion budget that I introduced as your mayor, 68% of that revenue comes from business taxes. 68% of the revenue that we need, that we collect to run services, to provide assistance for people, communities, everything that you can think about as it relates to the needs of the city of Philadelphia, 68% of it comes from those business taxes. I apologize, I needed to do that. That visual is extremely important to me. That's why I'm excited on today, and I can get rid of this. Jerry, hold that for me. I'm excited to share what my goal and vision for the business community has been. This is the business community's version for me of One Philly, a united city, and the initiatives that we are launching on today through the Mayor's Business Roundtables. Let me also just note for the record that I have from our cabinet. Val Gay from Arts and Culture. You here, Val? Why don't you just come on up front? Adam Teal, our managing director. Adam, if you would come up. Rachel Branson, Minority Business Success. Kristen Bray, Chief Counsel to the Office of the Mayor. Carlton Williams, our Director of Clean and Green. Where are you? Every time I say his name, I want to roll out red carpet. Come up here, Carlton. C-suite folks, Sincere Harris and Aaron Platt, if you all could come forward. You've heard me say it on many of occasions, and I'll say it again. My goal as your mayor is to work to unite our city, to break down bureaucratic silos, and build the capacity to move at the speed of business. When you ask me what keeps me up at night, it's not finding a way to grow that economic pie. If business doesn't succeed, Philadelphia cannot thrive. And it cannot thrive because business cannot create jobs that can gainfully employ, pay a living wage, offer retirement security, offer health care. None of that is available to the people of our great city if business doesn't succeed. With that being said, you heard me mention that as mayor, people said, what's one of the first things you felt being in this chair? I said the first thing I felt was vulnerable, understanding that I could not be successful in running our city and moving it forward in the manner in which we desired without the support of the business community. And so I said, I can't be mayor of this city and not have a direct dial. And I remember having communications with Ryan Boyer, Della Clark, and Greg Siegel when I asked them to chair our transition committee. And I know it was a tad bit abnormal because I didn't ask just for one thing. I asked for two things: chair the transition committee and lead this mayor's business roundtable process so that I would have, this administration would have, a direct dial to every industry in our city so that the business community would be helping to prescribe the prescriptions necessary for each of those respective industries to thrive. So why are we here today? What will these roundtables do? They are designed to engage and partner with the business community. They don't, including labor, they don't replace any of our chambers, our ethnic chambers, the Greater Philadelphia Chamber of Commerce. They are essential partners and an essential part of what we're doing here on today. But this is a new approach to governance that is much more comfortable for me as your mayor, and where the voice of the business community will be captured via policy and legislation. One key aspect of this is the ease of doing business with the city. And that's not just a term, that's our mission. But how best to do that? I need to hear that from the individuals who you see standing with me. Our business roundtable is what I like to call a vehicle for change. We check the history books. Since the 80s, I can say, there has been no formal structure that an administration has developed that will provide direct lines with the business community. If we are going to remove the red tape and streamline processes by listening to the people who have the real lived life experiences in making the payroll and running the businesses that help to keep our city afloat, we can't do that by just thinking we know what's best for them. They have to lead this effort for us. So it starts with listening, learning, and leading the way. What specialized sectors and committees? How will the work flow? First, committees are equitable investment and advancement, center city rejuvenation, eds and meds, biomedical innovation, construction and development, insurance, wellness and access, sports and entertainment, chambers of commerce and business, and Clancy, workforce development. We are guided by a robust committee of what you heard me say. I think, Ryan, I said this when we first announced Police Commissioner Bethel, that when you heard me talk about former police commissioners Richard Ross and Charles Ramsey leading the effort to interview all of the candidates we considered for police commissioner, you heard me refer to them as our subject matter experts. These people are no different. We will have a robust committee of expert advisors and an executive committee. Each of these committees are going to leverage their diverse expertise to foster a collaborative environment. Let me give you an example, and I'm not picking on you, Clancy. The Parker administration is supporting workforce development policies and resources in that overall $6.37 billion One Philly budget. Final approval by council is set for tomorrow. Thank you, Council President Johnson and all members of council. This is an inclusive and a better way to promote equity to help workers find pathways to self-sufficiency. What does that mean to this committee? The Roundtable has a committee on workforce development that will provide important feedback, and they will develop policies that we here in the city will implement. So everything is not on the shoulders of the mayor and or the administration. Directives will come directly from the people who are with us here on today. Life sciences and biotech are booming sectors in our city's economy, and our administration supports policies that will help grow those vitally important sectors. Why is that important? Because we will have a roundtable committee on life sciences. Richard okay, he's here. That will help us ensure that the policies we pursue are the right ones for these sectors. Why is this important? Philadelphia is only second to Boston in the growth of its life sciences and biotech industries. We have to work and be intentional and proactive in developing a plan so that Philadelphia doesn't have to be second to anybody for anything. And that's what we're working to try to do right now. You've heard me say this out loud, and some people have said, Sherelle, this seems a little weird when you say this out loud. I don't profess to have all of the answers about everything we need to do in city government to help these respective industries grow. But these stakeholders here who are doing the work every day, they know what we should be doing. These roundtables are also going to support the Commerce Department and other business services departments in achieving shared objectives and connecting these people and industries to government resources. We've established, Donovan, thank you so very much, a very structured schedule. I need structure. Your mayor needs structure. A schedule for the business roundtable meetings to ensure that the dialogue is open and we get prompt resolutions to any questions or recommendations these leaders offer. First, biannual meetings where all roundtables will converge. A triannual meeting with or meetings with expert advisor committees. Quarterly meetings with the executive committee, and monthly meetings with the industry sector roundtables. And these are the people who are actually going to be doing most of our work. The weekly briefings with the mayor's business roundtable team in various departments will happen on a regularly scheduled basis, so never will they be able to need access to any department in the city of Philadelphia and somebody says, thank you for calling, please hold. They will have direct access, and that's extremely important. With that being said, I want to begin to thank our chairs. Again, we checked the history books, Greg and Ryan. And Della, who couldn't be with us here on today, but no formal structure like this one has been in existence, and folks may not have clearly from the outside understood what I meant when I asked them to not just do the traditional transition. You know, you have a transition committee and they help you ascend to the office to get settled. But I feel like I was smart to ask for two things at once. So thank you for agreeing. And I now want you to hear from Ryan Boyer, who's the chair of the Parker Administration's Transition Committee. Greg Siegel and Della Clark served as vice chairs. And before they speak, I get an opportunity to say to both of you, thank you so very much for not abandoning me when I told you I needed you the most. Give it up for Ryan Boyer, and then you'll hear from Greg Siegel.
As you know, our mayor has a way with words, and if I was told I'm skinny, I was voluntold, you're going to do this, right? That's how Greg and Della and I, we operate. When the mayor tells us to do something, we do it. But I just want to say that the best predictor of future behavior is past behavior. And if we do what we've been doing, we'll get what we've gotten. And that is second place in some and far to the bottom in job creation. You see this august body of people here? That is because we want to compete. We want to compete at the highest levels. I don't want to be second to anyone in anything. And the first city I don't want to be second to is those green clowns from Boston. So we have the innovation here, we have the blame power, we have the people power, and now we have the will and the know-how, and we're going to get it done for you, Mrs. Mayor. Thank you. As the voice of the Philadelphia building trades and one of the voices of organized labor at the mayor's roundtables, our role is pivotal. It is ensuring the needs and the rights of workers are at the forefront of Philadelphia's economic policies. It doesn't work unless the rising tide truly lifts all boats. We're going to enhance worker conditions. You saw that with the splitting up of L&I, so that we can have people actually protecting workers on the job. Advancing fair wages, safe working conditions, and comprehensive benefits for everyone that works. Emphasize the importance of labor representation in the policy making to ensure that economic growth benefits everyone, especially the working class. We want to build this from the ground up. Collaboration with education, highlighting the significance of the collaborative approach between organized labor, education leaders, and address the needs for developing a skilled workforce, Mr. Clancy, and a pipeline out of poverty for those families that were left behind in the last economy. We're going to be intentional about creating a diverse society of winners, to promote joint efforts in developing workforce development programs that prepare workers for emerging future jobs. No longer are we just going to say, we like such and such program that's teaching people to make widgets and we don't use widgets anymore. That's not going to happen. We're going to prepare people for the building trades. I see Ben Connor back there, but we're also going to train people to be in advanced manufacturing and working in some of Jerry's technologically sound buildings. That's what we're going to do. We don't leave anyone behind, from the janitor to the top engineer. We want them to all make a family-sustaining living. We want to create economic opportunities. We're going to stress the need for equitable access to all job opportunities. That is no big I's, no little U's. Everyone growing together, so we no longer have the tale of two Philadelphias, one that's growing and thriving, and then we have the neighborhoods. No more of that. That's why we have Mr. Carlton, who met my aunt, Patricia Garrett, and she gonna tell you what to do, Carlton. I'm telling you, she volunteered me what to do my whole life. We're gonna support policies that foster inclusive growth, enabling all Philadelphians to thrive. And the mayor, along with city council, also has a tax roundtable so that we can have the tax structure needed to grow jobs. As she just now said, 68% of the revenue of the city of Philadelphia come from people that dare to start a business here. And they thrive, and we want them to thrive more. But we want to make sure that we have the environment where people know that Philadelphia is open for business. And we're going to, And we don't believe that is a choice between being pro-business and pro-environment.
Come on, come on.
We all want to be here. We all have children. In my case, I'm old, I have grandchildren. So we're going to advocate the creation of green jobs and sustainable practices in those industries. And if you know, those jobs can be great jobs, and they also strongly align with our mayor's vision of making Philadelphia safer, cleaner, and greener with economic opportunity for all. Did I get that right? Did I get it right? And again, we don't train the train. We don't do that. I don't believe that. I believe you train someone for a job that isn't going to be there. That is the worst thing you could do to one's hope. And that's why we have some of these nihilistic outcomes that we have, because we have outdated programs that train people on stuff that we don't do anymore. The construction industry changed every day. I see Dave Panici, who built our beautiful training school. He didn't use materials of 20 years ago. He used materials that's going to be in play 20 years from now. We have to be able to see around the corner. And I see Hornstein there from the Economic League. That's why I reference my people at SCIU. They need to make a living wage. They keep the environment clean and safe. And even if they aren't here, they're here because I'm here. Because no longer will we have that, we're going to pit the building trades against SCIU. No, we're together fighting for workers all over. The legislative environment. Labor's always been at the forefront of making sure that we had legislation to protect our workers and to protect the tax base. So we're going to have a productive conversation about appropriate taxation. Because we do need the services, but we also need to unleash the ingenuity of business so that we can move at the speed of business so we can compete. Philadelphia is uniquely nestled within 1 day's drive of 72% of the United States. Wow. And I know people don't like to hear it, but Jerry likes to hear it. Our real estate is still undervalued from where we are. We wanted to unlock all of that while rebuilding without any displacement. Turnkey program, Mo. Yes. We're going to, because we have everyone at the table, we're allowed to collaborate and see how one program affects the other program. No more collateral damage, because we're all at the table 3 times a year to say, yeah, Jerry, you want to do that program, but it's going to affect this neighborhood program here. How can we marry the two? And then we have the smart people and the people that practice what they preach. My next speaker is my co-chair, Greg Siegel. He's the CEO of Versa Capital. Capital don't have an address that it has to be in. He chooses to be in Philadelphia. He chooses to run his private equity fund from Philadelphia. He's a Philadelphian because he believes, and he's totally brought in with me, with this mayor, and her vision, and a vision of a greater one Philadelphia. My co-chair, Greg Siegel.
Thank you, Ryan, and thank you, Madam Mayor. I'm really honored to have been asked by Mayor Parker to serve as a co-chair for Business Roundtables and to be working once again alongside my friends and fellow transition co-chairs, Ryan Boyer and Della Clark, plus our new colleague, Donovan West, and his able deputy, Atia Harmon. As a business operator and investor and strategist for over 30 years, I've personally assisted dozens of companies across a wide variety of industries through all stages of development, and often navigating in a governmental system that wasn't very business-friendly, let alone built for business. With today's announcement and the launch of this critical initiative, the Mayor's Business Roundtables will become a platform for engagement across the city's business community, businesses large and small, that is interactive, solution-centered, and broadly inclusive, with the worthy goal of improving the ease of doing business both in the city and with the city, and all in a manner supporting the mayor's mission to build a safer, cleaner, and greener Philadelphia with increasing economic opportunities for all. 3 key points I want to make about the intended execution of the Mayor's Business Roundtable mandate. 1, it will be about building strong alliances through the creation of accessible channels for dialogue between the Parker administration and the business community This will include promoting public-private partnerships and other collaborative efforts to address key issues while identifying opportunities for growth-fostering development. It will also include leveraging the subcommittee's diverse expertise to help drive innovation and economic progress. 2, there will be a focus on opportunities to streamline business processes. For example, by advocating to reduce bureaucratic red tape to improve the ease of doing business in Philadelphia, such as the mayor's PHL Open for Business initiative launched in April. Also, by highlighting initiatives aimed at simplifying business interactions with city departments and accelerating access to development resources. 3, the goal is economic revitalization. That's the goal. And we achieve this by 1, supporting initiatives aimed at rejuvenating Center City and other commercial corridors to attract investment and boost local business. 2, engaging in the legislative process, both locally and at the state level, to support pro-business policies that promote economic growth and stability, including through rational tax and regulatory regimes. Encouraging workforce development that attracts the kind of employers we need to drive growth in good-paying jobs and that can help drive down poverty across the city. And finally, highlighting successful collaborations that have led to positive policy outcomes and the potential for replicating those for future success. The city of Philadelphia exists in a sometimes confounding duality of having both a reputation for difficulty to deal with, sometimes well-earned, yet having the good fortune of a capable workforce that is by and large dedicated to the betterment of the quality of life for the city's key constituencies, namely its residents and its businesses, as well as the sizable non-resident base of workers and employers who conduct business in, with, and around the city. The city faces enormous challenges in the years ahead, and certainly the mayor's business roundtables can't wave a magic wand and perfect the gears of commerce overnight, if ever. But the city also has enormous assets and opportunities, and as we approach the 6-month anniversary of her inauguration, I am convinced that this mayor and her administration understand the critical and interdependent nature of the relationship between government, business, and the citizenry. We have all come to appreciate my friend Mayor Parker's admonition to listen to what she says, but watch what she does. And with today's action, this is the latest promise kept in her campaign to drive the city's renewal in the years ahead. So working with government, businesses, the workforce, and other key stakeholders, the Mayor's Business Roundtables, supported by its notable roster of sector subcommittee chairs, many of whom are up here or in the room with us here today, will bring its considerable resources and commitment to the effort to help Philadelphia realize its potential as a destination of choice for new and existing businesses looking to participate in, contribute to, and benefit from the dynamic economic platform that the city of Philadelphia has all the potential to be, and help bring the job growth and economic opportunity that Philadelphia's citizens so richly deserve. Thank you again, Mayor Parker, for the opportunity to support you in this key initiative for your administration. Let's get to work.
Yes, thank you, Greg. Thank you. Now, I get an opportunity to use a tad bit of mayoral privilege right now because I did not tell them in advance that I was going to do this, but it's extremely important to me that the people of our good city get a chance to know a bit about the who's and the what it is that they are going to do. And before they start, I want to say to each and every one of you, thank you for agreeing to help me. I can't do it by myself, but I appreciate each and every one of you answering the call. The first person I want to call forward is Richard Vague, who will lead our efforts on biomedical innovation. Give a round of applause for Richard Vague. Thank you, my friend. Thank you for saying yes.
My expectations of Mayor Sherelle Parker were sky high when she took office, and yet somehow she is exceeding those expectations, and I'm not sure we've ever had a more dynamic leader in this city than we have right now. Let's give her a round of applause. I am honored to be part of this because I have nowhere near the level of talent the folks in this room have, but it is a privilege to serve, and anything the mayor wants me to do, I'm going to do. I'll boil it down to that. Philadelphia leads the world in genetic engineering and biotech. Philadelphia leads the world in genetic engineering and biotech. There's a revolution already underway here. And it is Mayor Parker's wisdom that she is embracing that. And I believe Mayor Parker will lead us forward to increase our dynamism in this area and change the world. But as we do that, we will transform Philadelphia with spectacular jobs that include every level of our city, from high school students all the way through, transform our neighborhoods in a positive way, and make this city even more vibrant than it already is. So thank you for allowing me to be part of it.
Thank you. Biomedical innovation, Richard Vague, check. Center City rejuvenation. I've talked about him a whole lot. Some Philadelphians who are watching are saying, oh, this is the guy she's been talking about in our meetings. He was the member of the business community who, when I was asking you to give me an opportunity to serve, and I said, what is it that I need to do? What is it that I should be thinking about to grow business in the city of Philadelphia? And his first response was, you need to bring some hope, pride, and dignity back to the city of Philadelphia. He's going to lead our Center City rejuvenation efforts, and this is Jerry Sweeney. Give him a round of applause.
What a great day this is for the city. Having been around for a number of years in this city, this is truly a foundational moment. To echo Richard Vague's comments, Mayor Parker, you continue to exceed expectations. We had that conversation about restoring hope, a sense of mission, a sense of what this city can be, that the city can stop being a city of unfulfilled potential and actually accomplishing that. And I'm just delighted to be part of this undertaking. So it's being a person who spends a lot of my life building buildings, we all recognize one of the most important things about a building is its foundation. It determines everything. And today is a foundational moment. To have a mayor with the vision and the energy, supported by a great team of her co-chairs, take an inclusive approach to how we grow the city is truly an amazing moment. This is the type of stuff that drives cities forward. This is the type of stuff that creates hope and expectation and belief. And having belief is the predicate to success. So when we talk about Center City rejuvenation, which will be one of my tasks, it's not just about Center City. It's about rejuvenating the commercial corridors throughout the city. We are all connected tissue. The strength of one is the strength of the other. The weakness in one is the weakness in the other. So as we take this broad brush approach to how we start to create the Philadelphia Center City area that we want and we aspire to, part of that will be connecting every single commercial corridor in the city. That's what will make this city strong, and I'm proud to be part of it. Thank you very much.
I'm feeling hopeful. Right now, you've heard me talk about 30,000 units of housing, the building of new, and the preservation of existing. We're now going to hear from Mo Rushdie. Both he and Sam Staton Jr., they will be overseeing construction and development. Mo Rushdie.
Good morning. First of all, can we get a round of applause for the energy that this mayor brings to the room? If you don't know me, what I do best is I talk to a lot of people. I probably know half of the people in the room. So I get the pulse of what people are thinking, all the way from the neighborhoods, all the way for owners of multi-billion-dollar businesses. And there is one thing we can all agree on, which is this mayor is serious about having Philadelphia open for business. It's very important to mention that when we talk about 30,000 homes, that we're not talking about pro-development policies and how to only be able to build skyscrapers. We're talking about a lot of construction happening in the neighborhoods. Equity, black and brown businesses that need to be improved in these neighborhoods, giving a lot of opportunity for small businesses, access to funds, make sure that we have policies that encourage and streamline the building of these 30,000 homes. So without going into more speech, because I can talk for 20 minutes, I just wanted to say thank you to the mayor. It's an honor to serve along these much esteemed business leaders, and we hope that we are up to the task. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, Mo. We're now going to hear from Dan Fitzpatrick. He's our chair for Equitable Investment Advancement. Give it up. You know him from Citizens. Give it up for Dan.
Thank you, Mayor Parker, and I think it's all been said, the incredible amount of hope and enthusiasm we all have for Philadelphia under Mayor Parker's leadership is phenomenal. But what we're doing, we spent a lot of time in Ryan Boyer's leadership, Pat Clancy's leadership, on workforce development, making sure we're educating and developing talent for the skills of the future. But now we have to take those talents and then create the entrepreneurial spirit, because our diversity is our global strength. I came back from London this weekend. Global city. Well, Philadelphia is truly a global city, and that's because we have great diversity. But the bottom line is taking all this talent and skill and giving them the opportunity to be great black, brown, women-owned businesses and entrepreneurship. That's the opportunity we have to set. So our objectives, and working with Donovan very closely on this, we have to provide debt sources, but more importantly, equity sources. That seed capital, that equity to get these businesses started, particularly not just in the neighborhood commercial corridors, which are critical to the vitality of our neighborhoods in our city, but in our center city core as well. Everyone needs to participate in the great economic growth that we're all going to help create here in Philadelphia, and that's the goal of our committee, and we're working hard to achieve that with the rest of this esteemed group. So, Mayor Parker, thank you so much.
Thank you, Dan. Thank you. I picked on you enough. Put your hands together for Pat Clancy.
How lucky am I to work with this amazing mayor, right? And I think this is the one group that touches everything that was discussed today. If we don't have a strong workforce, if we don't have a good bench of people, if we don't get people energized and excited about the opportunities, then we won't have a thriving city. So I want to say thank you to the mayor for making this a highlight. I look forward to working with your administration, amazing people. I know Donovan for many years as well. So we're ready to get to work because we want people to go to work.
That's right.
We got it.
That's right. You heard us mention early in our remarks that this cannot be successful without the assistance, support, and leadership of our Chamber of Commerce, that is our Greater Philadelphia Chamber of Commerce, along with our ethnic chambers, and I'm proud that Shelley Cameron is here with us on today. Give a round of applause for Shelley. Thank you, Shelley.
Thank you, Mayor Parker. I am so proud to be a part of this initiative. Your chambers of commerce in the city work on the behalf of business every single day, and we see this as an amazing opportunity to do more. All businesses deserve a voice. We need to talk about the impact that businesses have in our community, and I think this provides us a platform to do that and to make things better for them. At the Greater Philadelphia Chamber of Commerce, we have set a very bold vision to be a global destination for business and a leader in inclusive growth. Yes. I don't know that we could say it any better about what we want to do in conjunction with you. When we look at our business leads over the past year, half of them came from out of the country. There are businesses outside of the region, outside of the country, looking to come to Philadelphia. We need to work together to make sure that this is the right environment, it's a good environment, and that it helps all businesses grow. Thank you, Mayor Parker. I'm very proud to serve with you.
So We want to say a special thank you as well. Again, Kevin Mahoney, who has agreed to lead our Eds and Meds Committee. Richard Green, thank you, Richard, for leading our Sports and Entertainment Committee. And Greg Devins, Insurance, Wellness, and Access. And Greg has already been busy at work. He heads our Independence and Blue Cross, and we want him to know that we are very grateful. Now I have to say a huge thank you as it relates to this mission for the roundtables. And you needed to find someone who could not be discouraged about the sense of urgency that we had with getting this process established by standing up this work, and that doesn't get done without our Director Donovan West and Deputy Director Atia Harmon. They are embarking on overseeing these roundtables. They've been working tirelessly to put all of this together, and this is what economic opportunity for all will look like. I see a good friend of mine, and he's kind of like my sounding board. He gets all of my woes, but I want to say to Joe Neubauer, who is here, who is one of the most important advisors that your mayor leans on for support, guidance, and advice. Joe Neubauer, we finally got it standing, and now it'll be up and running. Give my good friend Joe Neubauer a round of applause. Thank you, Joe. This is One Philly. We want One Philly, a united city, and we want to thank you all. Are there any questions? Thank you. Yes, ma'am. Right. The closest thing that I could think of is very similar, and she definitely was a guiding light. You heard me mention this during the inauguration and the announcement of the Transition Committee. Mayor Vi Lyles from Charlotte did an amazing job with putting together a formal structure of members of the business and philanthropic communities in her city to tackle some seemingly intractable problems. And it was learning about her work, watching those, thank you for even paying attention to those committees that the White House structures, and they guide the Biden-Harris administration in their international and even national business decision making. But we wanted to be able to do this here in the city of Philadelphia, and I don't mind saying this to the people of our city. The thought, and Richard, I'm going to use life sciences and biotech as the example. Someone calling me saying that there has been a crisis in the life sciences and biotech industry. And then I look at the last minute managing director Teal, and you know how this gets me frazzled. And I'm calling Sincere and Aaron and Tiffany and saying, I need to meet with or talk to or connect with members, leaders of the life sciences and biotech industry, and I need to do it immediately. And then they have to begin researching who those players are, because our administration doesn't have a formal relationship with them. So we're trying to be as proactive as we possibly can. And this is also very similar to our anti-violence strategy, right? Prevention. So we're trying to be proactive here. Thank you all so very much. You can't leave just yet. You know what it's like to feel the heat of that camera on top of you. We have to get in front of here, and we all have to take a picture because we've got to cement this moment in the history of our city. Please give the members a huge round of applause. The other members who are present here, who are members of the committees that will be led, we want to ask you all to join us. Ryan, can you tell us something?
None of it needs no problem.
I know, right?